Let's bring to the stage our second top 3 finalists in the Customer Success Innovator of the Year contest, Christy Augustine, Chief Customer Officer, BloomReach.
Hi. Thanks for having me, Ben. That was incredible. I cannot wait to use that at BloomReach. And so my hope for all of you is that you can take something from each one of these presentations and take it back, regardless of how you vote. And so I'm going to go through with you the pillars of product value. Really quickly, who is BloomReach? BloomReach is a big data company. I was struggling with how do we go through really quickly, what do we offer, but Netflix went through very quickly what they did. And that's what BloomReach offers to a number of companies globally. Collaborative filtering, personalization, so you can go to companies like REI or Staples and provide a personalized experience. So we have a customer success team of professional services, customer success managers, support that work globally with our customers. And as we went through some of this growth, one of the big things that we realized as a big data company is big data doesn't always equal big results. We had a very data-driven approach to customer success. And while we did that, we were showing really great results. As ServiceNow went through, we had really good renewal rates. But why did we have customers who were churning? We were collecting a lot of data, but that data wasn't leading to the results we were looking for. It was a great example yesterday of were we asking the right questions? So, but is the data good? Is the data we're collecting good? Our product revenue lift, when you deployed our product onto a site, we would generate revenue lift of greater than 10%. Our conversion rates on pilots were 95%. If we got you in the door for a pilot, we could get you as a customer. Our NPS, when we talked to customers, our NPS was greater than 8. When we would ask them, would you be likely to renew, would you refer? And when we asked about our team, they loved our team. They loved working with them. And our team was following the best practices that we gave them. But the results were changing. So as we were scaling, we were realizing that, our renewal rates were starting to dip. We were getting down to 85, and 85 is still actually a really good number, but that trend line was not what we wanted to see. Our upsell rate on product and services also was not what we were looking for. And we had this bucket of customers that honestly were ghosting us. I mean, I'm a little old to have been ghosted dating, but now I know what it feels like, and it's not good. It's not pretty. No one wants that as a customer success manager. So we really wanted to look and say, how could we reevaluate what we were offering? We needed a new approach. We needed more than one way to talk about product value. And the way we came to this conclusion really was talking to our customers. I love the way ServiceNow put it. You've got some great metrics, things look good, but your customers are asking for something different. They were asking for us to be advisors and strategic thought partners with them. Yes, we were doing a great job answering tickets, but could we guide them along the way? And because of that, we needed a better way to engage with our customers. So yes, we needed to be thought partners, but were we engaging at the right level? Were we engaging at the senior level? Not necessarily. We didn't have those senior people at the table that we wanted. And we needed to incorporate these into all of our plays because our team had shown they can build great relationships, they can follow our best practices, but we needed a new approach. So that's what I'm going to walk you through, is expanding our view of product value. So what we did was we created a structured approach to how do we think about product value. At the very top is business value. It's the only thing that can be a pyramid all on its own. And it's the thing that everyone was using before. But in a world when you think about the high cadence failure, I think is the way Netflix called it, your business value piece is going to be called into question by your customers. Their analytics systems might not match yours. What they're looking for might not match. And if you want to be innovative, not all your stuff's going to work. You're going to be in situations where you have customers looking to improve the top line, but you don't necessarily always every month have that top line data to give to them. And of course, we have cost savings associated with our products. So are we talking about TCO with our customers? The second piece is leading edge innovation. So as a SaaS company, we want to make sure that we are driving innovation with our customers. We weren't always talking about that. We were talking about our product roadmap, sure. Every quarter, we told you what was going to come out. We didn't necessarily say what was going to be live on your site or combine that product roadmap with what you wanted to do. So yes, we have a SaaS API. We give you the results, but you might want to do something that Netflix talked about, which is give explicit UI changes to the customer. Let's create a joint roadmap with you and make sure that when you go to your boss next month, you can show him a roadmap of how we're going to be the best that is out there and better than our competitors. Customer experience is next. Customer experience is very much in the middle because it's the heart of it. We love to give our customers data, but we also need to give our customers the feels, right? They need to have those stories about our product. So we wanted to talk to them about not just their experience with us, but their experience with their customers. If you're REI, what kind of experience are you giving with your customers? And this has also evolved from when I was in high school, I played tennis. And my tennis coach used to always say to me, "You're only as good as your worst shot." And I wasn't very good. So in retrospect, not a super, uplifting way to grow up, but this is true for our customers. We're only as good as our worst shot sometimes. They're going to see the product quality and they're going to find the piece in there that maybe is not working. They're going to want to talk to you about that. So being proactive about what are we seeing, how are we getting better was really important to us. Operations, the foundation of your product, but something that we weren't really highlighting very often. How often do you think about whether the lights are on? I mean, I can tell you right now, these lights are on, full blown. But how often do you think about whether the lights are on? Well, your customers also. We didn't want our customers thinking about whether our product was on as a SaaS offering, whether we were meeting SLAs, but we do, and we should be proud of that, and we should be talking about that with our customers. Same with support. They knew when the tickets were coming in, but what if they weren't talking to us about support? How do we be proactive in talking to them about that? And then management. This is the customer's management of our product. We talk a lot about adoptions, but we also wanted to talk about wins. This was a big one for our team, because if you are a data-driven company and you like to go into your QBR with charts that talk about up into the right revenue, up into the right quality, you're maybe not going into your QBR with a slide that says, guess what we did this month? Guess what win we got? So this was really our framework to really give our CSMs more than one way to talk about product value. This is, if any of you used to read the Choose Your Own Adventure books, this is Choose Your Own Adventure. I used to always choose the wrong adventure. I don't know about you guys, but somehow the aliens always got me. But this allows them to choose their own adventure. I can go into a QBR now and say, for this particular customer, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to craft a journey. I'm going to talk about improved top line. I'm going to talk about product roadmap. And you know what? I'm going to talk about operations. We haven't talked about that in a little while. And lastly, I work at BloomReach. We like to bloom our customers. So management's called management because I needed an M, because we're blooming our customers with business value, leading edge innovation, our customer experience, operations, and management. So how did we roll this out? First, we beta tested it with a number of our customers. What we did was we said we're going to have more encompassing roadmaps, and we're going to explicitly talk about in the roadmap which one of those items maps to this framework that we've shared with you and talked to you about. This is what we want to do to drive product value with you. So now in each of our kickoff meetings and our QBRs, we have a discussion about whether we have a joint roadmap and what's going to come out when. Some of these things we don't even do, the customer does. But we want them enabled to go to their boss and give a roadmap. Second, we worked with the product team, and we built the operational metrics in a very visible way to our customers. So it wasn't this black box hidden thing behind the scenes where the customer is pretty sure everything's working, but we wanted to be explicit and celebrate the fact that you had an army behind you, making sure that you got that 99.9% uptime. And then we featured wins in each one of our QBRs. We don't present the win. The customer presents the win. And when the customer presents the win, the customer makes sure their boss is there. And if their boss is there, then we have access to senior leadership seeing what the product's driving. We expanded this into all of our customer plays as well and allowed our CSM team to really pull how they were going to build this into their success plans. Each of their success plans has to have more than one element of product value, or that account's not green. They also need to have a timeline that they're looking at for the first 90 days, the next 90 days, that goes across each one of those elements, and they need to have activities in each of those elements so they have a broader view of product value. And finally, we had to roll this out in a way that it was consumable. So we didn't get to that big picture. Every customer now has multiple pillars, but it's something that we could roll out with our team and enable them on it. So on business value, we have a guideline that you need to have more than one value metric that you're talking to your customer about every few months. On leading edge innovation, you need to have a roadmap, and that roadmap needs to go beyond renewal rate or renewal date. So you're giving a vision to that customer of what they're going to continue to get from you. And you need to share those launches, whether they did them or we did them quarterly. On customer experience, you need to have more than one metric you're showing there to your customer in the QBRs. On operations, you need to make sure that you're sharing the operational metrics, and those are incorporated into our temperatures. And then management side, you need to collect a win story, something the customer is doing with your product, or your temperature automatically goes into yellow. Really quick case study is we were working with a very large enterprise customer who was red. They actually had limited data we could work with. We had limited access to senior management, but they were an enterprise account. They also had, I'm sure as your customers do, a lot going on. And so we needed to make sure that we broadened how we were talking to them beyond what the product value is from that last A/B test we ran with them or that last launch we did. So we started talking to them about the experience metrics that they were getting. We started talking to them about product quality and quantitatively measuring it, and actively every month talking about where were they at. We created a joint product roadmap that we went through every single month with them. In fact, now they want to start with that roadmap. Where are we at? We also did product training with them. So we sold services in as part of that roadmap and said, where do we want to get you and what kind of services do you need? And then created win stories with them. For them, their revenue's up 10% where our product is deployed. For them, that was a huge win that they could talk about. But honestly, they're so excited about the product roadmap and being an innovator that that's where most of our discussions now are, instead of on the one single metric that will dip at some point, I'm sure. We'll run a test that won't necessarily work. But they're so understanding now of that innovation that they want to get that they know that there's tests they're going to run that are going to fail. And for us, we have a great reference customer now for someone who is red. They have a big roadmap now that they're talking about. So now that we have the right data and the right things that we're talking about, we feel like we have better results and the right results we were looking for. Renewal rates are now back up in the 90% and increasing. We had a 500% increase in upsells after we rolled this out. because we were looking at products and services now. That joint roadmap means that we can talk to our customers about when we think they're going to need to retrain or what's coming that we want to implement on their site 3 quarters from now, 4 quarters from now. And that non-responsive customer, they want that roadmap. They want that experience. We have more than one way now to get into that account and get responses with them. So we now have customers who weren't really there before who are now engaging in roadmap conversations. And then other benefits at BloomReach, really, we are getting that engagement with senior leaders. If you have those win stories and they're bringing their boss in, you can get better engagement at the senior level. And then an improved customer focus across the organization by having more than one product value pillar, it eases up the entire rest of the organization. Your product team doesn't feel like they have a one-hit wonder that they have to deliver on. The sales team actually has a roadmap that they can continue to upsell against. And the professional services team knows well in advance what's coming and has a playbook that they can hit from. Thank you.